Lickers are some of the most iconic creatures to come out of the entire Resident Evil series. They've been featured in multiple games for the franchise, and have even made their way into the first Resident Evil movie. However, you may be a bit surprised to learn that one of Umbrella's apex predators somehow managed to outlast the company that created it. If you're like me, you're probably curious as to how these long-tongued devils managed to find their way into one of Tricell's most secretive laboratories in Africa of all places. Lickers are first seen in Chapter 5-1 and are quite a surprise to see in a laboratory so far from Raccoon City. However, there is a reason for these Lickers to appear in the game. A reason that's given to us via some text left on an old computer written by a man named Miguel, a researcher for the conglomerate company Tricell. In the document, Miguel laments having to work with these dangerous BOWs, but not for the reason that you would initially think. Miguel is frustrated that Lickers are, in his own words, an evolutionary dead end. Tricell had brought these famed BOWs to the birthplace of the progenitor virus to see if it could be used to bolster the creature's abilities. But, unfortunately for the company, it seems that the creatures were already beyond reproach in most aspects of their design. Miguel and the other researchers attempted to improve the creature's capabilities, but in the end only managed to make a few changes. These new, slightly improved Lickers were called Licker Betas, and sported slight improvements in their sense of smell, as well as an exponential increase in their ability to reproduce.
I don't think they'll notice us.
Guess their senses are weak.
Just to be safe, we should be as quiet as possible.
This is pretty much all the information that we're given about these familiar BOWs. However, the document does mention that there is a demand for Lickers on the BOW market. So if you're wondering why Tricell would be interested in these creatures in the first place, it's probably tied to their infamy. As we know, once Excella took over the position of CEO of Tricell Africa, she and Irving began selling bioorganic weapons as a way to fund further research into things like Ouroboros. Lickers, being a creature from the Raccoon City incident, and a terrifyingly memorable one at that, were probably big sellers because of that fact. Hence why Excella and Tricell would be interested in pursuing an advanced version of the creature to sell at a higher price. Other than those details, however, there's not much to say about the Lickers of Resident Evil 5. They have a slightly different look from the Lickers of, say, Resident Evil 2, with the most noticeable thing being that their brain is less exposed, and heart slightly more so. But that's about it. You'll see these creatures a few times in the game, but they don't have nearly the iconic impact of the original model, and they certainly aren't on the same threat level this time around to the bulked up BSAA.